This one for WWE champions. Pay to win like every day, yeah.
I don't play mobile games.
Funny how they still think I'm a broke man.
Then I'm broke.
Even though I be pulling Hogan's. I spent like 40 grand on a couple thousand pictures of some sweaty men.
What? Big Boss did a super chat. He says, I found out about your channel. A guy at my gym had your Dark Souls hoodie. You still have a merch store. I had a Dark Souls hoodie? I did? Does anyone remember this? A Dark Souls hoodie? I don't remember that. I believe you. I don't remember that. I believe you. But I don't remember that. Skill Scholar says I have the same hoodie. What is it? What is this hoodie? What was on the hoodie that branded it to be me? Because I don't remember that at all. By the way, 672 says, No Wings was not making snide remarks. He says, you're a good Dark Souls player, better than people give you credit for. There you go. I don't remember it. I literally don't remember it. I mean, you got to understand something. I had 2 merch stores in my career. The first merch store was Cafe Press. I opened that one way back when, at the beginning of my YouTube career, when I was basically like the underdog of YouTube. And it was a lot of like Street Fighter merch. Like there were artwork of like Street Fighter characters with our names on it and shit. It was pretty silly. And then it was like the DSP logo, the old King of Hate logos and stuff like that. That was on that merch. And stuff like that. And that was probably in existence for like 3-4 years. And then basically I just stopped caring about it. Like no one bought anything from it. So I basically just kind of stopped caring about it and never mentioned it. And then I found out years later it was still open, so I closed it because I didn't even realize it was still open. I was like, oh shit. So then I started, when I became a full-time live streamer in 2017, Teespring, which is what they were called at that point, reached out to me. I did not contact them. They actually reached out to me saying they knew who I was as a streamer. They knew that I was prominent, had a following, and they thought that a merch store would benefit me. And they actually opened the store for me and designed the merch. Now, the first merch sucked. It was like a bunch of arrows, like fighting games, right? I think it was like I'm pressing buttons, and it was a bunch of arrows and buttons to make it look like, you know, like I'm making fun of a fighting game or something like that. You know, it was basic stuff. But then what happened was a lot of people designed awesome stuff for me over the years. Now, I remember a few different designs, but not a lot. And you know what's really funny about all that? So over the years, people would, like, of course, my detractors and shit would be like, oh, so Phil, he's a jerk because he never pays anyone for designs or anything. Out of all the designs that fans made me and allowed me to use, once I did pay someone. I paid someone who was a professional designer to make me 5 different designs. And I put them on the site, and literally they never sold at all. The professional designs never sold one piece of merch. So I paid a good amount of money to a professional designer, and no one cared about that merch at all. They liked the fan-made designs. Anyway, so that I had for years, but once again, just like anything, like I said, after having it for many years of prominence, essentially, people forgot about it. I forgot about it, stopped talking about it, and it just sat there for like a year unused, and then they closed it on me, and come to find out, that was the same year, 3 years ago, when my trolls mass messaged everyone. They mass messaged Twitch, they mass messaged Teespring, they mass messaged other companies that I had dealings with this big like montage of hate against me, saying, oh, you see, this is who Phil is. He's a piece of shit. He's a scumbag. He said these things over the years, and this is who you want associated with your company. And keep in mind, 3 years ago is when cancel culture now was huge. So they basically all kicked me off of their sites, despite the fact that the stuff that they were looking at was like 10 years outdated. Like, imagine Teespring, knowing who I was, messages me in 2017 to say, do you want a merch store? Sure, we'll make it for you, and we'll even make the merch. Sure. 4 years later, they closed the store because they're not okay with things I did in 2010. You opened the store in 2017 for me. You were okay with it in 2017. 4 years later, you're not, and you punish me for your decision. That doesn't even make sense. But that's what I mean. All these companies have changed. They've all become these ultra-liberal, cancel culture, progressive fucking companies. God forbid that someone made a risque joke 13 fucking years ago. Oh, can't have them in our business, right? So it's pretty ridiculous. As of late, I could tell you this. There's one. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but a company reached out to me. They contacted me, just like Teespring had, and said, you know, we have a platform where you can sell merch and you can do other things with fans and stuff. And I said, the merch is what I'm interested in. Like, they offered other services as well. And I was like, those other services would probably work for other content creators, not much for me being a full-time live streamer, but I would be interested in the merch side of stuff, right? And I said, but I get the feeling, the fact that you are messaging me like this, you did no research on me at all. So I said to them, please research me and then get back to me if you want to do work. Because I tell you, I have an army of trolls who attack me on the internet and have defamed me and will basically do the same with this. And the representative, you know, contacted me again, was like, oh, your trolls can't be that bad. Don't worry about it. I said, dude, I'm just going to say this right up front. I am not going to do business with any company who's not going to research first and be lazy about it. Research me and get back to me. They never got back to me. There you go. So these companies, they just blanket message people without doing a lick of research to know who they are. What would have happened was I would have started working with this company. They probably would have opened a page for me. I would have had all this merch set up. And within a week, all my trolls would have mass messaged them with the same video clips from 2010 and previous. Oh, look at the horrible things DSP says in his videos every day. Oh, he's the king of hate. He's a racist and all of that. And then they would have just closed my page after all that work. So that's why I don't bother with it. These companies are so fucking stupid and lazy. They don't even do initial research. And then they just on a whim make these knee-jerk reactions to shit like trolling. They don't even fucking look into it and say, okay, maybe this is stupid and we don't listen to the dumb kids of the internet. We're antisocial losers sitting on a computer harassing people all day. Maybe we listen to actual people who spend money, right? Because I know I haven't had merch now in 3 years. I bet right now if I came out with a line of merch, people would buy it. They'd be like, oh, we haven't had DSP merch in years. Let's get some stuff, right? I don't think it would be tons of stuff, but I'd probably make a few $100 here on it. And then having that line every once in a while, you want to get a gift or some collectible, you know? It would work, but no company is going to deal with trolls. They just don't want to deal with that liability. So to them, unless I'm going to be like a million seller and make them a ton of money, they're not going to deal with that shit. You see what I'm saying? So it's just not viable. I would need to find a company that doesn't listen to white noise bullshit. Who is that exactly, right? I don't know. I haven't found one yet. So here's the funny part. Tommy says you need to find a right-wing company. I'm not right-wing. So I'm hated on the internet for nonsensical fucking reasons, right? And I'm not right-wing, which is why most people go to those. You know what I'm saying? I just... See, Felix the Maid, I don't know about that. He says the company LTG uses might not listen to white noise. He's been able to sell merch again. Now, why was he not able to sell merch for a time, which is what it sounds like you're saying? Why did that happen? I know he always sold things like jerseys and stuff, right? But to my knowledge, is this a company that just custom makes stuff per order, or does he have to mass buy shit and sell it? Because that's what I can't do. I don't have capital to put into mass producing merch first and then selling it. I have to have it be on demand. You know what I'm saying?